Hello all. Well, this year's Harvest Appeal, we are including Link to Hope, which is the shoebox appeal, which we've done for the last few years. And we just want to touch base and make sure that everybody is on the same page with this year, because it's changed slightly. We are still going to be doing shoeboxes, and hopefully you will enjoy doing those, maybe as a family or individually. We'll do more on the individual shoeboxes another time, probably next week, so look out for that. There are also the options to donate money, which is a super idea because very often the shoeboxes need to be refilled, improved. People don't always put the right things in, so the money that goes towards them, putting the right stuff in, rejigging them, is really, really helpful. They can also buy more stuff to put in individual shoeboxes and then send them out. And down in Worthing, they have a whole team of people doing this. Most of them are volunteers, but some of them are going to need to be paid at some point, especially this year. So donations are really important this year. They do say something on their website about maybe making donations of individual items towards a shoebox. Whilst that is perfectly acceptable to do, if I'm honest, I don't think that's the most helpful way of doing things. Either fill a shoebox or donate money would be the easiest ways. Otherwise, they end up with, they showed us last year, they had quite a few packages of razors. Well, they're going to be useful to somebody, but you can only take so many of them. Plus, the other thing is customs regulations. They need to say what is in the boxes for customs. If they get opened and the box is not right, they can have the whole shipment turned round and denied access. So next week, we're going to look at how to really do the shoeboxes properly. Sounds snotty, doesn't it? But honestly, Lucy and I have spent quite a bit of time over the last few years putting shoeboxes right. Next week, we'll look at that. So take a look at the website. The Link to Hope website is listed in the newsletter this week. Their website's so informative, and there are videos there which will tell you about some of the places they take them to and the effect that they have. And this year it's more important than ever. It really is. So take a look at the website. If you would like to donate money to them, that is a super way to go and is easier than maybe putting a shoebox together, which can actually work out fairly expensive. So we'll talk more, but I just wanted to really rattle everybody's brains again about shoeboxes, about Link to Hope and donations. And any questions, throw me an email or phone me. Numbers on the newsletter. Take care. I'll nag you all again next week. Bye.
Every year, Link to Hope takes thousands upon thousands of shoeboxes filled with gifts to some of the most impoverished communities in Eastern Europe. Every single one of these boxes tells its own unique story. A story that might begin with a family somewhere in the UK packing a shoebox with everyday items, and ends as a message of love and hope to a family or elderly person in a poor village in Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova or Ukraine. Some of these shoebox stories have led to opportunities to start and develop education and social care projects in these poor communities where there is such acute need. Sometimes a shoebox can reveal the most desperate need. Volunteers delivering shoeboxes in a village in Moldova found Maria, a 74-year-old woman, sleeping on the dirt floor of her freezing home. Seeing her need, Link to Hope were able to buy her a bed, blankets and pillows which they delivered to her house. On another day, a shoebox was delivered to a family grieving for their baby, who had just died due to the cold and their inability to heat the one room they lived in. This family has now been rehoused by funds raised by Link to Hope supporters in a purpose-built container home. These stories and the people they affect simply wouldn't have been known about without shoeboxes. The power of a shoebox can change lives. So this year, when you pack a shoebox with small and precious gifts, remember that it will become yet another story of love and hope sent from far away, and that it could help change the lives of those in desperate need.
Hi everyone, it's me again with another blurb on the shoeboxes. I hope you've all been thinking about them after the video that we showed last week, which really hits me every time I watch it. So I hope it impacted you and made you think that you would like to do a shoebox, or at least a donation towards a shoebox this year. Because however hard we have it here, and many of us do, but lots of us are very much more blessed than the people you saw in that video. So I hope that it got to you. I really do. Shoeboxes. There is a terrific video that the Shoebox Appeal put out on how to pack a shoebox. And I know that sounds very simple, but it's well worth a watch. It really is. Little tricks and tips for things to do. The one thing is that they said on the website that if you're going to do a bulk donation, so, 3 or 4 of the same item rather than a shoebox, please, 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 no more razors or combs. They have been very, very blessed with those this year, and they have more than they can really ship. I'm sure they'll all get used, but they just don't need any more. What they are asking for, if you want to take that route and do donations this way, are toothpaste and brushes. And often you can buy toothbrushes in a pack of 4 or 5, can't you? Candles and holders. So something that will keep the candle safe while it burns, not fall over. Small games like decks of cards or travel drafts or chess, something like that. But I think playing cards are a terrific one there. Packets of sweets and chocolates. Can't have too many of those. Soap and flannels. They're the things that they can use usefully in bulk. So if you don't want to go the route of packing the whole shoebox, those items, and again, they're listed on the website. So no more razors or combs. Thank you. They're very blessed. The video is excellent on the website on how to pack it. But if you don't want to go that route, you will remember this form. The trick is every box needs to have everything that is listed here. Gloves or scarf or hat, doesn't have to be all 3. Sweets or chocolates, Make sure the best before date is before June next year. We've had to take some of those out before now. Soap and flannel, toothbrush and toothpaste, candles and holders, and small games. Every box needs to have all of those in. New, unused, unopened, please. We have had used items before, we have had opened packets. So please make sure you're not just palming somebody off with something that you didn't like or didn't want to use. And then add 5 or more from each of, choose one of these lists. This is family, this is for more elderly person. So for an elderly person, you could go with reading glasses or a magnifier, really useful. A mug, hot water bottle, gloves, pen or paper, socks, thermal socks. Got to be a winner for old people, haven't they? I'm not entirely sure how much use a lavender bag is, to be perfectly honest. That's just me. You might find it very handy. I don't really understand how that would have helped Anna, the elderly lady sleeping on her floor last year. I think she might have been more grateful for a bag of chocolates, frankly. There you go. Wind-up torches. They all list wind-up torches. If you're having trouble getting one this year, because Robert Dyers haven't had any in yet, I have 4. Well, I have 3 because I'm putting one in my shoebox. If you need one, let me know because I've got 3 spare and you can willingly have one to go in your box. But they are getting hard to come by. Amazon are great. And funnily enough, the shoebox has an Amazon wish list. You can do stuff to be delivered to them through Amazon. Who knew? It's great. So read your box, decide what you're getting. Every box should have at least 11 different items. Each box needs to come with a donation of £3 to go towards the shipping. That's the first increase in 18 years. It's not bad, is it? So if you're putting shampoo in, they ask that you tape over the lid so it doesn't pop open in transit. Very sensible. That's it, really. Please do check out the website for Link to Hope. It's ever so good. Check out the list. Think about what maybe you can do. And, shoeboxes will be collected at the latest on the 1st of November. We have the all-age service on the 1st of November. If you can get your shoebox to church before that, I'm sure we'll find a spot to put them. Watch the newsletter. Thank you for what I know you will do, because you always come up to the challenge with this one. And I will look forward to taking donations or shoeboxes down to Worthing on the 2nd or 3rd of November. Have a good week, folks. Bye.
Hi, I'm going to show you how to pack a family or elderly shoebox for your Link to Hope shoebox appeal. I've chosen a medium-sized shoebox. It's about 18 by 10 by 30. What we ask you to do is try to keep to that size as much as you can. When we're given big boot boxes and we have to give them out, it's very, very difficult. Very generous of people, that when you have 2 families and there's a small shoebox and a large shoebox, very difficult to choose between. Let me talk about some of the items in your shoebox. We ask for gloves and hats or scarf, so not necessarily all 3. I would suggest you contact a knit and natter group who are always keen to knit for you, so you don't have to go and spend a lot of money, or go and get to a local charity shop, get a good pair of gloves, and that's your woolly items. If we look at toiletries, you can put liquids in your shoebox, whether that be family or elderly. Today I'm doing a shoebox suitable for a family. All we would ask is, if you are going to put liquid, you put sellotape across the top to stop it leaking. We also have suggesting flannel and soap to try to reduce our carbon footprint rather than sending more plastic bottles. And of course, toothpaste and toothbrushes. So moving on, whether you're doing a family or an elderly shoebox, everybody loves sweets. And you can also put in chocolates into a family or elderly shoebox for Link to Hope. Lovely to put a gift in for a mum or a grandmother. So it can either be a headscarf, or it can be an apron, or it can be hair accessories, or it can be new makeup. Dads as well. Always quite difficult to buy for dads, but DIY tools, razors, combs, belts, other sorts of items, ties you think would be great for the dad of the household. See, here we have a candle. The reason we have asked for a candle and holders is to prevent any sort of house fire. Unfortunately, if candles aren't stable, they can tip, and in previous years that has been an issue. So when we say candle and holder, it doesn't have to be this sort of candle, but as long as you put a little glass holder, if you're going to use a tea light, that would be perfect. And cuddly toys. Again, please don't go and buy one. The world is awash with cuddly toys. As long as it has a CE mark on its bottom, then it will be absolutely fine. Just make sure it's very washed, very brushed, and it's going to go and be sent to somebody who will love it. And we now come to the games. Obviously these can be used by all the family, but here we have silly string, we have magnetic Ludo, we have a really in a very good state. We have one of these, and we have something like marbles, again can be played by all ages. And leading now on to stationery items, we have a pad, we have some pencils to go with that. We have something a bit more fun, we have glitter pens, and then we have a little colouring book. And then to help people, particularly at school, we have a calculator, which hopefully will contribute to them being able to access and stay in their education. So these are all the items that we would suggest you put in a family shoebox, but you can of course use your own imagination. So we've decided today to do a family shoebox. So we tick a family here. If you decide to do an elderly shoebox, you would have ticked here. So in all our shoeboxes, we like to see gloves and scarf or hat. So we put gloves and a hat in. We put sweets in, so we're ticking that. Soap and flannel, toothpaste and toothbrush, candles and holders, and small games. This in the blue box is the core of your shoebox. Then of course we've added other items. We put in a colouring pad, we put in crayons and pencils, small toys, soft toy, tape measure, headscarf. We put in shampoo, solar powered calculator, safety razors, and some combs. Here is a section for you to write other items that you want to put in your shoebox. We just want to draw your attention to this area. Please remember not to put in any food, medicines, books, tea, coffee, or any out-of-date items. No sanitary items or underwear, as we do have to follow strict custom regulations. And sellotape it around the yellow lines, nowhere else, just the yellow lines. Then what we ask you to do is turn it over, take it down here and here. If you're a taxpayer or pay tax on your pension, then please fill your name, address, email here and put how much your donation is for sending the shoebox. So it's not the amount the shoebox cost you, it's the amount we're donating. This is £3. Or whichever you choose. To make it easier, we'll choose the £2. And then what we do is we put £3 in here, and we tick gift aid box and we sign it so that we're able to claim money back on this £3 from the government. So here is your completed shoebox. We just want to thank you so much for taking part and contributing to the shoebox appeal. We know that the people in Eastern Europe who these get sent to, it's a magical gift for them. They really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Please know that every box you send is going to be sent with love and received with absolute gratitude. So thank you very much.